Welcome to the Answer is Yes podcast, where we interview some of the most interesting people that have said yes to opportunities in their life. We hope that through these stories, you can learn to create your own destiny by saying yes along the way. Join us as we explore the new series covering topics such as passion, integrity, and hard work. I'm your host, Jim Riley, and I hope you enjoy these interviews as much as I do. I believe that everyone has an important message worth hearing. Hello and welcome to the Answer is Yes podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I'm already laughing with today's guest. We've only known each other 2 minutes and we've laughed about 1 minute and 45 seconds worth. I've got Oleg Konovalov on the phone. Well, hello, sir. You're calling from Russia, right? And it's hard not to laugh about what's going on in this world.
Jim, we're all call it, I wouldn't say victims, but to some extent we are the hostages of a top stupidity contest. People trying to share something like kids in a sandbox, no, it's my toy, no, it's my toy. Come on, what's a win? And that's of course a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the bright side. At least you could print a list of those champions of stupidity. That's okay. Let's have a fun.
Well, as I mentioned to you before we got on the air, we also have our list of stupidity over here. So thank you for sharing that laugh with me. I was intrigued by your story because you talk about entrepreneurs and strategic thinking and managers and how to grow your business. And first of all, that's always attractive to me. But I'm especially intrigued by business in other countries, and to have you calling in from Russia, it's intriguing to me to find out more about how business is conducted over there, opportunities in life, and things that people have said yes to over there. Would you mind just touching on your background a little bit and telling us something about yourself?
Thank you, Jim. You see, I have spent many years in the fishing industry, and I have gone from an engine room on a trawlers to a CEO position. So I know how to get my hands dirty, and then I just went into consulting, into coaching, writing books, and considered one of the top global leaders. And I act in the most exciting part of leadership, vision, because this is my field, how to create vision, how to make things very different, how to look at the world differently. And I have clients and participants of my course from over 30 countries from across the globe. And one of the questions, what's the difference between countries? I'm always asking, there is no difference. The difference is between either leaders or non-leaders. If you are good as entrepreneur, regardless of a country, you still have the same traits. If you're a good leader, regardless of a country, you have the same traits. As we've been talking about politicians. If you're stupid everywhere. The word idiot is pronounced in the same way in all languages. But if you're a leader, it's pronounced in the same way in all languages.
Right. Well, that's common sense, right?
Oh yeah, that's a difficulty to get to the same common sense at the same time for all of us. And here we got difficulties. Somebody lagged behind,
Yeah. No, I'm not going to let you get away with briefly saying that you ran a fishing trawler from the engine room and you had success in that. I mean, what was life like running a fishing operation in where you were at? What ocean were you on? What were you fishing for? What did the crew sound like? I mean, what did you have going on over there?
Oh, it's, fishing for cod in the North Atlantic, it's a big fun because it's a small trawler. It's considered one of the 10 deadliest professions in the world.
Exactly.
But it's always a fun, because you have 12 pirates on board, but they work as a team and they support each other in an incredible way. You wouldn't see such commitment, such collaboration. I never saw it in a corporate world. Because there is no win for one person. there is always a win for all on board, because you are not paid on a weekly or on wages. You on a share. Whatever we have done together, how much we have got, we're getting shares. We're all aware of that risk, and therefore we are standing for each other. And that is a tremendous experience. It's no difference in age, the only difference in experience. And therefore, you're looking at somebody who is more experienced in those things and asking for support or advice, and it comes naturally. And you, at the same time, you're prepared to fight for your colleague or your friend, for teammate, for crewmate, whatever, in a very different way. You respect a good, proper work. You respect professionalism. And that is a tremendous experience. I got a lot of lessons, even my friends saying, yeah, you should write a separate book about those stories. But they're tremendous. I'll give you a brief.
Please.
I'm Russian by origin, so by common assumption, I should be a big fan of vodka. I'm not. I'm a big fan of Scottish whiskey. And the reason was, working on trawlers, you're not allowed to have alcohol on board except the captain for his own purposes, whatever. And after you're facing storms, you're going through a hard war. I used to work with a captain, Jack Lilly. He was a phenomenal captain. And was going out to the galley, pouring about like a glass of whiskey to every crew member for a drink, because you can't sleep. You're so overexhausted. You can't close your eyes. And I understood that whiskey is a brilliant remedy to get warm, to get relaxed. And after second drink, you're really enjoying it, and that gradually turned to become a big fan of whiskey.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. And it's nothing about, oh, you should be patriotic and drink vodka. No. I will go for the best.
You go for the best. I can't help but think, I raced cars for a number of years in the off-road world, meaning, you leave the finish line and there's nothing in between that and and where you finish at from start to the end. And you rely on your comrade who's in the vehicle with you. If you break down, you fix it. If you get hurt, you help each other out. You follow the map. You make sure the car is taken care of. And it builds incredible teamwork. And when I bring that back to the business world, it's easy to become frustrated when you look at the selfishness of individuals and the ladder climbers trying to get ahead of the next guy. And when I hear your story about being out on this fishing boat, working together, all for the same, why is it that we can't do a better job of that in business with one another instead of, cutting each other's throat and trying to climb over each other?
I believe that in business, and particularly in leadership, ego is a far greatest killer of collaboration. You don't see people, you see only yourself, you don't see the world. When you are facing really tough challenges, you're facing a strong gale, strong storm, or you're in a tough situation as you were through for many times, you immediately recognize ego wouldn't make you successful. Ego wouldn't bring you back home.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And therefore, it's nothing about you. It's about what we do together. You more or less, you could say, hey, my crewmate is my next of kin at that particular moment. And therefore, I will look after him, he will look after me. And there is no ego, because nothing to share. We're sharing only a success that we will be rewarded when we're back to harbor.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's like you. We will share success when we cross the finish line.
Yeah.
There is nothing in between.
Yeah. Nothing but working together, with the same vision, right?
Yeah.
And drive to get the job done. You know, you came off the fishing boat and you wrote a book, had some other things in between there. What inspired you to write that book? What made you feel that the time was right to put that particular book out?
Good question. I actually wrote a few books, and the latest one, the Vision Code, became the most successful and translated in a few languages because for the first time in human history, I managed to reveal what vision is, how to create it. So to strip it into clear algorithm. And somebody asked me another day why I haven't started with that book. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. It was important to pile up a lot of information. It was important to learn many things because you can't go into a super league of thinking straight from a field. It's a matter of growth. It's a matter of learning from great people. It's a matter of learning or meeting great people and analyze their lessons. It's a matter of going through a number of storms before you will be saying, yes, I am able. And that is quite important. This is a journey. You can't get into something big by chance. I don't believe in overnight success. Success is a short-term result of a long-term commitment.
So true. Most people don't realize that. They see the finish. They don't realize the hard work that went into it. Speaking of vodka, I had worked for the Dutch, the Nolet Spirit Company. They produce Ketelane gin and Kettle One vodka for the U.S. And by the time I came on board, they were already selling 200,000 cases. By the time I left there, we were selling 2 million cases. And most people thought it was an overnight success. What they don't realize is that it was an 11-generation company, started in 1691. There was no overnight. You know,
No.
it was a lot of hard work, a lot of time on the streets, a lot of knocking on doors. And people don't see that part of it, do they?
No. Uh, because people are not prepared to look at consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Because consistency is okay, today is great day, we're having a lot of fun, everything goes nice and easy, but tomorrow it could be tough, but you still must keep that consistency. You must be clear on your goals, you must be clear what you do, you must be clear what kind of value you create for people. You must be very clear on those things and therefore keep consistent. No consistency, you are off the game.
You know, we joked for a minute about the difference between, a country, Russia, U.S., Europe, wherever,
Yeah.
that an idiot is still an idiot, a businessman is still a businessman, right? And what I like about that is people are full of excuses about why they
Oh,
can't succeed or why they can't win. And I think it just goes par for the course. You talk about consistency, right? Having a plan, having the vision to execute your plan. It doesn't matter if you've had a hard day, you've got to push through the hard day. Talk to me about that a little bit because we really have to allow people to understand that we're on the same boat.
yeah, but you see, here comes a very interesting difference. People rely on choices. We're all taught to make good choices, But what I always say, life is not a menu at McDonald's. It's not about, oh, I don't like that, I will take that, cherry pie or double cheeseburger, whatever is on the menu. If you want to be successful, it's about decision because the difference is very simple. Choice doesn't assume responsibility or commitment. Oh, I will try if I will fail. No, no, no. Just like all these blah, 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 all that excuses. We have done poorly because we had poor choices. Good. But when we talk about real things, real stuff, it's about commitment